Welcome to the first ever Off the Cuff on the Bluff podcast with your host, Dean Franklin. That's me. This podcast is mostly going to be about Memphis and Shelby County, the good, the bad, and the really, really ugly politics that we have here in the Mid South, the Bluff City. Um, but I do plan on bringing a lighter side of events happening in and around the Mid South, Memphis, Shelby County. Uh, so stay tuned for that, especially some music. I love me some music. I mean, if you haven't gotten out in Memphis to check out some of our local musicians and our local venues and everything, you're missing out because we have a lot of rich music history here in Memphis. As I stated, I want to deal with local politics. And I've had great encouragement from a lot of people that I've made friends with over the last year and a half by getting involved with the Shelby County GOP. And I'll tell you my story and how you too can get involved. But let me tell you what gives me the cred to talk about Memphis and Shelby County. First of all, I was born and raised in Memphis in 1964. I've lived in and worked in and around the Mid-South, Memphis, Shelby County, South Haven, for 55 of my 61 years. Now, funny story. Melanie walked up to me and asked me, "You've been working since you were for 55 years?" I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "Well, I was looking at your copy for your introduction podcast to the podcast, and it said you've lived and worked for 55 of your 61 years in Memphis." I said, no, maybe since I was 8 years old. You know, we're all free labor for our parents. So we got a little laugh on that. But the only time I've been in that, the only time that I've been out of this area is a couple of years in Texas whenever I was a kid, and 3 years in the Air Force, stationed at RAF Mildenhall, England. That was a cool deal, really cool. I was a fireman, and the fire station was out right across from the runway, and we had two SR-71 Blackbirds. If you don't know what they are, they're a beautiful, beautiful Air Force reconnaissance plane that they've since retired. But when we moved back, we moved back to Memphis, and I became a sheet metal worker in the union, and did that for about 20 years. While I was still involved in the union, I started my own business, Atomic 26 Designs, where I do residential stair rails and handrails and gates, some fences. And since that time, I've taken on a guy that sells to the hospitality industry. And I've got furniture bases, although I can't put my name on it. I've got furniture bases from the East Coast to the West Coast, some in Alaska and some down in the Bahamas. Now, when we moved back from Texas, we lived in the Scenic Hills, Raleigh area. And, had a lot of friends, and we fished at Lake Windermere. Had a lot of woods in the area and built forts, swung on grapevines, did all the things kids did back then. Went to the Raleigh Springs Mall, hung out in Sultan's Castle, played a lot of video games, ate at the best damn pizza place in the mall, Dino's. I bought all my music from Camelot Music, and I even bought clothes from the merry-go-round. And I also worked at merry-go-round. And when I tell people that, they said, "Did you have the parachute pants?" I said, I did have the parachute pants, but not just any parachute pants. These were the name brand Pano Dior parachute pants. And most of the time I wore white Capigios with them and like a ripped t-shirt or something like that. And maybe I'll post a picture of myself in a fashion show that the Raleigh Springs Mall put on. So I've seen a lot of changes in the last 37 years since moving back to Memphis or the area. And so that pretty much qualifies me to talk good or bad, both, about Memphis and Shelby County. So I'm going to fast forward to June of 2024. I'd been listening to KWM, the local conservative radio station that Todd Starnes owns. Ben Dieter was the host, and just a lot of really good information. They call themselves the conservative blowtorch of the Mid South, and they are. They tend to tick people off sometimes that don't align with conservative values, and that's quite all right because we don't care. But I found myself wanting to be more involved uh, in politics in general, but mostly local politics. So I went up to the station one day, and as I was walking to the door, Justin Johnson and Kristen New were walking out. Had a good conversation with them, and Kristen invited me to the Shelby County GOP meetings that they have every Tuesday. Uh, first Tuesday of the month, each month, starting at 7 o'clock. So if you can ever make one, come and find out how you can be more involved in local politics to try to make Shelby County a better place to live. And that includes Memphis. So we all know Memphis needs a lot of help, and they're getting a lot of help from the Memphis Safe Task Force. Thank you, Senator Brent Taylor. The biggest reason for this podcast is because I have a lot of small circles of friends in person on Facebook, X, Instagram, and what I want to do is to bring all these small circles into the big circle of Off the Cuff on the Bluff, and I need your help to do that. Uh, so, it's you talk to people, or you post something, or you share a post from other people, and I get posts back, or when talking in person or whatever. How do you know that? I never heard that happen. I didn't even know that was going on. That happened 100 years ago. Yes, there's a lot of stuff going on. My wife Melanie does a lot of research, and she throws a lot of information at me at times. So you just have to watch for not only my post, but a lot of the posts that I share from a lot of people that have better sources than I do. And I know, I'm not the next Joe Rogan, and I don't want to be. But because Memphis and Shelby County politics, with speaking on researching this information, there is an unlimited supply of information coming out. Especially if you're conservative, you can follow me and others and just find out how bad the politics are. Hell, all you have to do is watch the news. All you have to do is watch Facebook, listen to KWAM, follow people on X, and follow two really cool guys on Facebook and Rumble, the Patriot Punkcast. That's another thing I plan on doing with these podcasts, is plugging other great patriots and local small business plugs that I'll be giving out. Now, I'm not getting any money for it, not yet anyway, but at some point maybe I will. I've already had, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 people saying that they want to be on the podcast, that they'll do a podcast with me. I've got people shoot me information all the time that would be a good podcast. And there's other people that are saying that they'll throw information my way. They'll do the research. They'll do the FOIAs, file the FOIAs, and get me the information that I need to do the podcast. So we'll see. In the meantime, while I begin my own research, I want you to follow me on Facebook, X, Rumble, and possibly I'll be putting this on Spotify as well. But I really need followers on Rumble. because I plan on doing the paid Rumble Premium, and you get a lot more perks with the paid. So I need followers on Rumble. Please follow me on Rumble. 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 Now, here's another list of people that I'd like for you to follow on Facebook. Uh, I consider them friends, mentors, and fellow patriots. You got people like Bob Hendry and Collierville Justin Johnson, both Marines. Once a Marine, always a Marine. Hoorah! Kristen Hicks, Kristen New for Germantown, or as we affectionately call them, the Christians. Christians. Uh, you got Todd Starnes. He has a Facebook presence. His radio station, KWM, also does. Follow KWM, listen to KWM for your local news in the morning from 7 to 8. Robert Chase Matheson and Daniel Wagner, both with the Patriot Punkcast. And these guys have helped me out a lot. I met Robert, or Chase as he goes by, at the Tennessee Firearms Association conference. And he stands out just a little bit, just a little bit. I mean, probably anybody would with a 14-foot platinum mohawk. I mean, not 14 foot, 14-inch platinum mohawk. So they've got great shows. I think they're pausing their Sunday show until after the first of the year, but they've got great Wednesday night show, and then every day they have a 3-minute segment called let's see, I can't remember what it's called. Tennessee in I don't remember what it is. Basically, the initials are tits. So anyway, follow their tits each day. Okay. Speaking of the Republican Party of Shelby County, I got involved. I don't hold a chair or anything like that, but I like to go to the meetings and find out what's going on. We've got a lot of good people in the chairs, and I've noticed that I keep looking down and I'm not looking straight into the camera. So we're going to pause this and we're just going to stop it.